Welcome, listeners, to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour, hosted by Rene Bravo and Bryan Quevedo. If you are a new listener of the show, please follow us on our socials on Instagram at Keepin' With The Nerds and Twitter at Keepin' With Nerd. Our podcasts are recorded in Whittier, California, and are posted on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts every Wednesday at 11:30. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Ready?
Okay.
You're recording?
I'm recording right now, but you can just cut it right.
I'm going right now. I'm going to start it when I want to start it. You want to know what my fiance said to me?
Oh, God.
That's how he immediately started. You want to know what she said to me? No, for real. You want to know what she said to me?
What?
So we went to go watch. Well, she said this to me like a week ago, but she was mentioning how almost every other issue that we do, I mention Christopher Nolan.
There has to be a mention.
There has to be a mention, and she's like, "Why do you like you mention him way too much? There's not a single issue that goes by where you don't mention him. It's like you either don't like something he does, or you mention a movie or something like that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, it's just that it happens. Okay, I don't plan this out. It's just his in my mind sometimes, and I just have to talk about it, and that's it." So we went to go see Godzilla versus Kong in 4DX yesterday.
Oh, yes.
By the way,
no invite.
I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, it started at 7. I was thinking of inviting you.
Okay.
But you were working.
I was.
Because the movie starts at 7:30.
Okay.
So there was absolutely no way you could have closed the store.
That's true.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Thanks for making me feel like an asshole.
It's okay. I'm just no, it's fine because I was actually watching it. I was looking because I saw your story, and I'm talking to Manny on the phone. I go, "Babe," and she goes, "What? Bryan seen Godzilla versus King Kong in 40X. I got no invite." She goes, "What a dick." We're just laughing. I go, "No, it's fine because you went to go see it with your girlfriend too. That's your time too as well."
Yeah, because she's never seen it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So because I think I mentioned in previous issues that King of Monsters in 4DX was probably one of the best cinematic experiences I've ever had, just because it was so much fun, and this one was just as much fun.
Yeah.
Except I had neck pains.
Oh, God.
Because those fight scenes were they throw you back.
Yeah, you're getting your neck going,
especially in the water.
Bobbing back and forth.
In the water, when Godzilla pops out, you're leaning forward on the seat, and then it throws you back. And you're like, "Oh, God." And it snaps your neck.
Whiplash.
Yeah. No, it was pretty bad. It was awesome, but it hurt. Anyway, so on the way home, we were talking about how different directors have different styles,
Yeah.
The director who did Parasite is one of those people that's just super into kind of storytelling and getting his story to mean something. You have, Edgar Wright, who's very much focused on one topic of his movies. And you see that in Baby Driver and Scott Pilgrim. It's an homage to comic book art in Scott Pilgrim and music action in Baby Driver. Ridley Scott, fantastic in scene development. His settings are so engaging and very claustrophobic. You can compare things like the original Alien and The Martian, where it's very tight spaces and he manages to work scenes so well, make you feel how enclosed these characters are. Just examples like that. And then I mentioned Christopher Nolan, and she started laughing, and she's like, "Why do you always feel the need to constantly mention him?" And I'm like, you know what? I have a feeling that one of these days I'm going to be somewhere in Los Angeles, just walking by.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sit at a table, and right across from me is going to be Christopher Nolan. And I'm probably going to introduce myself to him and say "Yes, I love your work and stuff." But deep down, I probably talked way too much crap that I'm going to feel super guilty. But I also kind of want to tell him and be like, "Why do you do this thing where you just make your own, make us think of our own ending? Why can't you just tell us what the endings of your movies are?"
He's all because I can't think of endings.
Oh, because I wanted to. I don't know how he talks. I want you to
British, I
think
think.
about what the message implies. It's not just a straightforward answer.
Brian's already walking away from the table.
God dang it, Nolan. Nah, but yeah, so that's what she was mentioning is that, it's like I'm speaking it into existence that I'm probably going to run into Christopher Nolan at some point in my life.
Probably. I feel like that's going to happen.
If it does, great.
It'd be funny interaction, a funny story.
Yeah,
if
I'll
we're
have
still
fun
doing the
with it.
podcast at that point.
Oh no, we still are. Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, this is gonna keep growing. We got a lot of announcements today. Very, very excited to announce a couple of things that we're gonna be working on. Let's go ahead and just kickstart this podcast.
You do the intro?
Yes, let's go ahead. Let me try something new real quick. All right.
Okay,
All right. It's gonna sound a little bit different, but just bear with me.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Hello, citizens! Welcome to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour, coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, aiming to be the Whittier's #1 podcast for all things nerdy. I'm your host,
Ryan.
Rene, and Nick.
Whoa!
Hey!
Dang! It was not me.
That was not you. No. My luscious vocals cannot be repeated. I'm sorry.
Nick Valero back for another issue?
Yes. It's only been 2 issues away, and you guys immediately call. It helps that I live 2 blocks away.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Hey, we need a third. All right, I'll be there in 5.
All right.
We need someone just walking distance.
So before we move on to the topic of this issue, we're gonna get some announcements out of the way. Just because we have your attention right now. So Keeping Up with the Nerds is trying to grow as much as possible. Rene and I have been hard at work the last couple of months. We're almost at a year.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes, you are.
And we've been very, happy with the content that we're putting out there. We're working on smaller skits. We're upping our content game. Every single day that we come in here to record, we're always doing something new and we always strive to do something better. But it turns out that, 2 people can only do so much. And so Rene and I talked, and when we had Nick Valero on the show 2 episodes or 2 issues ago, we adored him.
Oh my God, I'm gonna blush.
Yeah, we really enjoyed having Nick on the show. It was fun. It was a fresher breath air of just kind of between me and Bryan. Not to say that what me and Bryan do is not great, but
No, it's stale, bro.
It's over.
It's over.
Done.
It's over.
No, but with us growing as a channel and as a podcast, we want to add in another person just to see how it goes. And you were the person that best fit what me and him wanted.
It's all right, guys. Don't worry. I'll get fired next week.
No.
I'm gonna curse so much today that it's like, oh, we love him, but we can't keep him.
It's just not good. He's just not a good image.
I had to bleep 20 minutes.
20 minutes of a podcast, and it was just a straight 20 minutes of a bleep.
And it was all the F word. It's so versatile.
Nick, just watch me have to be the reason as to why I have to edit this podcast now. Just watch.
You know what?
You wanted to say something.
You know what? I didn't though. So it's fine. It's fine now.
I could see Nick's face. It was like,
just that.
So actually, fun little story before we move on is that when Nick was here the last time we were recording the issue, we actually spent like 2.5 hours outside
talking in front of your car.
Yeah, just talking
Yes.
and just just blurting out ideas of like what to do.
Brian kept looking at his car to make sure there was no marks on it.
Nothing. Yeah, I just had the car like a week.
He yelled at someone. Like you yelled at someone because they were backing up.
They were backing up.
Oh yeah, because he was getting close, uncomfortably close.
He was backing up, and you were just like, "You better not come back. You better."
You're like, don't do it, buddy. Don't do it.
So,
but he was saying different words in between.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Words not allowed on here.
Yeah.
He was less eloquent.
Yes. But we were talking about pretty much how to expand this, and if hopefully the videos are going to be up. We worked on they should be up episode 3 of Falcon and Winter Soldier and episode 4. If not, they'll be up sometime this week when this issue comes out. But we pretty much said there that we're trying to grow as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Marketing is essential. We want to make sure that we distribute this brand as far out as possible. We can only look at analytics so much and understand it so much. Nick is one of those people that can understand this much better than Rene and I can.
Definitely.
And has given us so much advice in a span of 2 hours that we said, why not? Screw it. Let's bring him in. Get him in here And we're just so grateful that you're joining us.
Yeah.
And, we're very excited to see what we can do. You mentioned that, you helped us get a website. We're building that. Thank you so much.
It's gonna actually have a blog spot. So you guys can post whatever it is that is in your funny little brains.
Bryan's Brothers, he'll have an official blog.
That would actually be really funny. Who knows? Maybe we'll open it up to people if you guys want to. If you guys have like a thing that you guys want to talk about, maybe we'll post it up there after it's been read. After it's been read, just to make sure that it's not just obscenities.
Needs to be proofread.
So it's a 5-page essay about how the F word is amazing. But no, I mean, we can open it up to, because that was another thing I was talking to you guys about the other day, is just more interaction with the audience.
We want to, and I think social media can only do so much, and thanks to the website that we're trying to build, hopefully the end goal is to have it set up within the next couple of weeks to have those things available for you guys. Nick will also be kind of looking over the YouTube channel as well as our social medias. As soon as things start to open up, you did mention hopefully panels in cons.
Yes, we will. As soon as everything does open up and everything else, I think, especially since it's going to be very, very empty. And they're going to be needing some panels. So that was my first thing, is I do want to get us out to a couple of cons, maybe, doing a panel, maybe, doing some videos, us walking around the convention, doing some interviews. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of goals that we have in mind. We want to keep working as much as possible to keep this brand growing. And it will not be possible, it wouldn't have been possible to think about these things if it wasn't for Nick. So thank you. Yeah. And this is officially the announcement that Nick Valero is now joining Keeping Up with the Nerds, a 3-man group now.
It's a 3-man group. Yeah,
a 3-man group.
It's gonna be a 3-man group. It's gonna be fun. I mean, we shot for what, 2 hours before we started this today?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got a lot of work done.
We had a lot of work done, so that was good. I honestly, I don't know how you would have done that skit with 2 people.
Oh no, it wouldn't have been.
It would have been. Yeah, we would have gone a different skit altogether.
Yeah, I think that skit's gonna be. It's gonna be pretty cool. I can't wait for that skit to come out.
Another thing that I do want to mention is, we still want to try to keep a 2-man podcast going.
Absolutely.
So there will be times where, one of us will be stepping away from the mic.
Yes.
It'll just maybe be Rene and Nick, or, Rene and me. I don't know if that was grammatically correct, or, if it might not even be here in the, what is this, Hall of Nerdom?
Yeah, the Hall of Nerdom.
The Hall of Nerdom, our little studio over here at Undercity. We might even record on Zoom and just have it just in case Rene needs to take a break as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we can go ahead and make this work as much as possible to bring you guys the best content available and give each other breaks, because it is a lot of work.
Yes. Doing it for almost a year now, we've realized how much we need to do. And having a third person will help us.
It's really funny, because people always grow up, especially kids today. They always go, "I want to be a YouTuber." YouTubers are dope. They don't have to work. They just make a video every so often. It's like, how hard it is to make that video?
No, honestly, I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah,
I did not think about how difficult it was, because basically before you joined, in that 9-month span that Rene and I were doing this, I was producer and editor as well as technical producer, and Rene was in charge of social media as well as so technical producer as well, but also producing the podcast and getting all those things done. He was in charge of making sure the Podbean was running, that the distribution was up and running well. He was in charge of publishing and advertising the videos that we were working on. And then at this point, it just got so exhausting. We started missing deadlines, and we're like, holy crap, man, there's just no way.
Yeah.
So I think with you on the team, honestly, this is going to be, 1, easier on us, but 2, more growth. So
this is when they just give me a giant list, and they're just like, cool, we're out.
All right, peace, guys. We're going on vacation.
We're going on vacation. I need you to edit 5 videos that I haven't done yet, and then I'm gonna be like, what did I get myself into?
I will be honest though, I still want to edit as much as I can, because I like my style. I don't want to sound egotistical.
It's your vision.
It's exactly. Oh my god, make me sound like Christopher Nolan. God, it's my vision.
All right, Tenet, relax. It'd be the podcast that saves theaters, man.
Yeah. Only to be beaten by a monkey. All right, so announcements out of the way.
Yes.
Are we ready to jump into the
Absolutely.
issue? Excellent. Okay, so we do have a topic to talk about, something that has been on our issues for like 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
It's a big issue.
Yeah.
It's a really solid issue. Yeah.
It's surprising. I was looking at everything. Actually, if I take a look at it now, I loved how a couple months ago we were arguing, or we were like not pleased over the fact that it was Disney, Marvel, Disney.
Yeah.
And we were even getting complaints by a specific viewer who was like, why do you guys not talk about DC as much? And then now we're talking about DC because that's all we can talk about. It's just the biggest headlines.
Out right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So let me see. We had the Justice League Ignorance, the whole Justice League Mortals thing. That was 2 weeks ago. Godzilla versus Kong last week. Then we had Zack Snyder 3 weeks ago. We talked about Space Jam 2 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing, and then 5 weeks ago. So
Space
it's been a
Jam
month.
2 was announced about like a month ago, right?
Yeah.
It was announced, but the trailer hadn't come out yet.
It was the talk about Pepe Le Pew being canceled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Possibly.
Why would you cancel Pepe Le Pew?
Oh
It's a
man,
skunk.
that is just listen to that issue. You'll see it.
It's a skunk.
No, it was a heavy issue. It was
I understand.
Yeah, it's a lot. But going on to week 5 now, strong. Warner Brothers comes into the picture again because we're going to be talking about all things Warner Brothers. Nick, you weren't here last week.
I wasn't. No.
When we were talking about Godzilla versus Kong. Give us a 5 little minute spiel of what your thoughts were about the movie.
Okay, so
Yeah. Nick over here prematurely breaking his energy drink.
Yeah, I did that as soon as I walked in. I cracked it, and then I was like, "Oh no!" But anyway,
You were excited.
I was actually. You know what? These Ghost energy drinks. I've been looking for them because you told me to go to the 7-Eleven down the street. I went there and they were not there.
No, they're like in different places.
Yeah, they were not there.
The
and I was just
liquor
like,
store down the street, which is
Stop sending me places,
It's
man.
I'm just saying. They
I
have
feel
all
like
5 flavors.
I feel like it's an Easter egg hunt that you guys
If
are
you
just
take
sending
the
me on.
alleyway down a block over there, head straight, knock on the wall 3 times, spin around twice, and then do 3 squats, a door will open. That'll lead you into the magical land of Narnia. You walk down about 2 miles
Then
west,
from
open
there,
the door.
there's a piece of chalk on the floor. You then draw a door, and then from there it opens it up, and you're in chalk zone. That's where these are.
Then you go through a portal. It'll look like a machine. And guess what? Now you're in Danny Phantom's world. All right. And then from there, exit the house.
Man.
Take 3 blocks down. You're going to see a weird house. Okay. It's going to look magical. Knock on there. A kid by the name of Timmy Turner will answer.
Dude.
Okay.
Never watched any of these shows.
Timmy Turner is a psychopath.
I was going to say.
Timmy Turner's a psychopath, actually.
He really is.
No, he is a sociopath. No,
Oh, really?
It's hardcore.
My fiance and I, a couple Halloweens ago, we dressed up as Timmy Turner and Tootie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I met, what's his name? The artist that does it.
Oh, God.
I forget.
Well, I forgot his name.
Yeah. But I have he drew a picture of Tootie that my fiance has now.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so she has it because we
he's-
loved her so.
I saw him at a convention.
The only reason I say he's a sociopath is because there's a scene in the show later on where he literally says, "I made a wish and Cosmo doesn't remember it because I wish for him to not remember it."
Mm-hmm.
And it was, "I wished for everyone to never age."
Oh, that was an episode. That's right.
It's an episode,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I wish that nobody in the world could ever age."
He's like 30 years old or something.
Yeah, and
supposedly.
it's like, "Oh, how long ago did you do this?" And he's like, "I don't know, like 40 years ago." And they're like, "What? How long has this been? What?" And he's just like, "Yeah, like I never wanted to lose my godparents."
Yeah, this was before
Wow.
Poof.
No, it was after.
Was it after
It's
Poof?
after Poof.
Oh.
Did you guys ever see the live
it's like around the
action-
series finale.
The live action movie with Drake Bell as Timmy Turner?
Let's just not talk about that.
There was a live action.
Yeah, there's
There was a
3.
live
There's like
action-
2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
It's
there
all
was
right. Have you guys seen the? This is totally off topic, but Powerpuff Girls,
the live action.
the live action photos.
No, I haven't seen
Warner
the
Brothers
photos.
property.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks like the porn version.
he-
of-
That's
you
what they
got-
were mentioning
you
is
got
like
me.
a porn parody.
You got
Yeah.
It
me.
looks.
You got
It
me
really
mixed up.
like images of it looks like it's a bad porn parody, and I was
Yeah.
like, why?
No, yeah, I saw images of that. It is a Warner Brothers property.
It's also
again,
a Warner
on
Brothers-
Oh my
topic.
God, no!
Doesn't it look like a odd?
Oh.
It looks like a weird porn parody with actual actors,
Oh,
like the
no.
costumes.
Yeah,
It looks bad.
yeah.
But
Why
anyway,
does Bubbles look like she's like underage though? Ooh.
what do you think?
No, it's just
I was talking about how it just looks weird.
No,
but
and I
like the
get what he
costumes-
means though. It's like
Yeah, she
very,
looks
it's very
super
weird.
young.
It's okay. Don't worry. They'll have like early 2000s CGI.
No, but it
so
makes
it's fine.
no, but you know what? Renee is right because because these are the Powerpuff Girls are young girls.
They're
Yes.
supposed
And
to be
they're-
little girls.
Yeah,
right?
but they're adults, so I don't know how they're going to work that out.
They're teenagers in this one. They're supposed to be like
They're not.
teenagers.
I mean, the
I
only
don't
teen-
know.
The
you know
only
what?
convincing teenager is Bubbles.
Is
And it-
Bubbles?
yeah, that's
No,
the only convincing teenager.
Not Chloe Bennett.
No, she
The
looks
one
like
from,
she's well into her 30s.
the
I
one from,
forgot.
Event-
yes.
from,
okay,
Agents
that's
of
the
S.H.I.E.L.D..
only, she's the only reason I'm going to watch this.
Dude, she does not look like it.
But you know what? It's because I liked her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so much. She was probably the only actress there. Oh, no, besides
Clark Gregg.
yeah,
Clark
and
Gregg was really good.
she was in Mandalorian. She acted as the sniper.
Oh!
I forget her
know-
name, but I
know
loved her
who-
too.
The girl who played what was it? Mulan.
Yes. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
We strayed so far from the topic.
We
What is?
did.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
And we talked about not tangent.
yeah, we talked about trying not to tangent here. Nick, tell us 5 minutes.
It's a bad I did it on purpose. So, no, I didn't. Okay, so for Godzilla, I feel like Godzilla is it's a cool movie. I honestly I really enjoyed it. Going to go see it in the movie theater, I'm sure is really awesome. I saw it at home. It was alright.
That's it. It's all right.
It was alright. Like, okay, here's the thing though. I feel like whenever they're directing these Godzilla movies, King Kong movies, they always do really cool things with the characters of Godzilla, King Kong, everything else. But I always feel like they're very confused or they're lost on what the people do. Like the people are just there sometimes, and then they just have scenes where you're just like, all right, let's get back to the giant lizard that could shoot like atomic beams and stuff like that. Because
Spicy breath.
yeah, spicy breath. Because like sometimes it's just like, okay, I feel like at this point we need to get this character to Hong Kong. How do we do it? Oh, she gets trapped on a thing, and then she gets sent to Hong Kong, and then that's why she's there. And it's like, but why does she need to be there?
So Renee and I had this conversation when we watched it, because Renee had the same concerns.
Yeah.
And he was just like, it just doesn't make any sense because we both pointed out the fact that the groupies, as Renee called them,
King Kong's groupies and Godzilla's groupies.
never interacted.
Yeah.
They were separate. But then I told Renee, kind of to understand this aspect, which will soothe it out a little bit, is that the humans in the movie, for this one in particular, are only there to speak for the monsters because they can't speak.
They have sign.
Kong has sign.
I wanted to
Godzilla.
Giant
Oh,
atomic
but Godzilla
lizard
doesn't
doesn't.
have like fingers.
No, I wanted to see
Yeah,
Godzilla.
he uses shoulders and thighs.
No, I wanted to see Godzilla right in a building. Like he just destroys buildings into letters. Hello, my name is Godzilla, destroying Tokyo.
No, but
I am here to protect you all.
You are safe now.
so it's funny that you mentioned, like, okay, why did you need to move a character from point A to Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Point B. So, we wouldn't have known why Godzilla was attacking Apex if it wasn't for Maddie
Yeah.
pointing out the fact that he felt threatened by something.
Yes.
Godzilla wouldn't have said that. So that's the only reason I forgive the bad storytelling on the human side
No,
of it.
you could have done it where they even said it in the guy that owns Apex says, this is the reason why Godzilla has been coming after us is because we've been working on this.
Yeah,
thing.
That
I
was
feel.
towards the end.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is that I feel that you can have that exact same scene and take Maddie out.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You
you can
can-
take the dad out as well.
You can take Maddie out. You can take the dad out. You can take the only reason they're there is because they were in the other movie.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why they
No,
were
that
cast.
they're Godzilla's groupies.
Yeah, and I feel like who really could have done it and had like a bigger portion of the movie
Bryan
was
Cranston.
Bryan Cranston would have been a good choice.
If he didn't
'Cause
die.
If he didn't die in the first like 20 minutes of the first
First
Godzilla
one,
movie.
yeah.
And Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think, was like the main character in the Godzilla one, wasn't it?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
tried to put him as the main character, but it was like
Yeah, and then
didn't work
afterwards, everybody was just like, "Yeah, no, he's not Kick-Ass, so it's fine.
out. right? Basically,
This isn't Kick-Ass, so we're just gonna put him to the side." Man can't get a role.
can't.
He can't keep a role.
and he's actually a good actor. That's
He is
the
a really
thing.
good actor, which is really sad because he just can't keep a role. Like
Uh-huh.
Quicksilver, dead. Even when they recast it, dead.
Yeah.
And everything else.
They canceled Kick-Ass 3.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
That is actually a shame.
Well, they're supposed to be doing a Hit Girls
Kick-Ass
movie.
Warner Brothers as well?
It is.
Oh, that's
It
it.
is. Yeah.
Oh, Warner
It
Brothers.
is. Warner Brothers.
We're
yeah.
building up to you, brother. We're getting there because we got
Warner-
beef with you today.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. Yeah, Warner Brothers has a lot of good movies, man. They have a lot of really dope movies. But
The tour is fantastic, by the way. If you have not done it,
which one was it?
the Warner Brothers tour, the studio tour.
Oh yeah.
I hope someday in my life to work for Warner Brothers because that studio is fantastic.
I was scheduled before the pandemic because it was Batman's 80. I think it was like Batman's 80th or something like that. They did the Batmobiles.
I was there.
With all the Batmobiles and everything. I had bought a ticket to go, and like I was like, I can't wait to go, and then
COVID.
and then COVID hit, and then like everything got canceled, and I was like, no, I want to go see the Batmobiles.
Did you get your money back or?
I did. Yeah, I mean everybody gets their money back.
No, but like having your money back and you're like knowing that's not going to happen.
You know what the sad part is that when I got my money back, I was like, you guys can keep my money. Like as long as like when things open up, you just tell me, oh yeah, come on, like you can go, stuff like that. But I really want to go see that Batman thing. Cause
if you do the studio tour, they'd take you to like an exhibit where they have some of the Batmobiles. As far as I can remember, they had the Tumbler. I think they had Adam West's.
No, it was like a full Batman exhibit.
It's okay, so that wasn't it then. But they have like an area.
Basically, they showed you a fraction of what they had because it was every single Batmobile, every single suit, every single thing. Yeah, that is such a. I think they even recreated Adam West's set for the Batcave.
Really? Wow.
And stuff like that. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. I can't wait to take photos here. Just going down the pole.
No, but Warner Brothers really knows how to distribute its movies. Like, who would have thought that they would have had like so much money brought into because of the MonsterVerse movies? Like Godzilla versus Kong, fantastic. And I mean, we talked about like the ratings of it. Essentially, we think King of Monsters is first, Godzilla versus Kong, Kong Skull Island, and then Godzilla 2014 is in last place.
It's an interesting idea, especially since just technically Kong is what, 70?
It's an age in the movie.
Well, I mean, if you take into consideration that Kong Skull Island takes place in the 60s.
Yeah.
And then modern day is supposed to be.
There's like the age difference is weird because like supposedly he's only a couple years old, but then it was assumed that he's like thousands of years old or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because that's like the thing is apparently like
I don't
they
know.
used to be at war. I don't know. Kong
We
is
already
weird.
said the science makes no sense.
No,
The science is garbage in these movies.
You don't think Hollow Earth is a thing?
No.
That whole thing on its own, I think we talked about it last episode. Just the whole like gravity of it as well too. Did it make any sense as well?
No.
It's like
yeah,
inverted gravity, and then somehow they just completely skip it when Kong goes back through the center
To the
or through the
surface?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that Godzilla created to get to the surface.
I don't.
Yeah, see, the
See,
science
I-
makes absolutely no sense.
Because
I
the-
remember specifically seeing that scene with Kong in the center of the earth and just kind of going like, there's only like 45 minutes of this movie. Like, when are they gonna fight again? And then all of a sudden, like, you just see like him like push his hand against, and you see Godzilla, and he just goes, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and like he just shoots straight through the earth.
It's fantastic. Like, look, you're not watching this movie for scientific accuracy.
I was.
You're-
You're telling me that atomic lizards aren't inside the?
If
don't
atomic
exist?
lizards were a thing, I would not be here. I would be out there looking for them.
You know what the funny thing is that because I think the original lore, wasn't it? It was Hiroshima and Nagasaki, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
that it
was the-
awoken.
No, not even that it had awoken. Inside the original
created-
movies, it
yeah.
was that's what happened.
That it created it.
It created
yeah.
Godzilla.
That was the original like idea.
Like that was the original.
It's gone through so many
one.
different iterations.
Yeah.
That this time,
'Cause-
yeah, basically like Godzilla's been around for thousands, millions and millions of years.
Yeah, because people have like art drawings of Godzilla and stuff like that. Like
And
the
King
cave.
Kong.
Yeah, and King Kong.
All these kaijus. Yeah.
Yeah, like all these kaijus have lived on the earth, but for like 200 years, like no one, or a couple thousand years, like
Yeah.
they were dormant and stuff like that.
Hey,
Which I don't get too. That's another thing. I mean,
Look, science accuracy thrown out the window. The MonsterVerse movies are fantastic. I want a fifth one. I don't care what y'all think.
Is it bad that I did want to see, because I really wanted to see King Kong on like a building? and just like swatting away stuff.
He was.
I know,
for
but
like 2 seconds.
I know, but I wanted that to be like a big moment thing of like him getting on like the top of a building and just being like, oh, all right, now I have the high ground.
Are you Team God or King Kong?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is everyone I know Team King Kong?
Because Kong is awesome.
Yeah,
man.
but Godzilla's spicy lizard.
It's the posable.
I think you just answered your own question. Like,
It's just, I like Godzilla. Like, even my fiance was like, oh, I was Team Godzilla until they made me feel emotionally sad about King Kong. I'm like, F him, man.
You know
Who
what?
cares?
You know what the problem is that this movie, yes, it is King Kong versus Godzilla, but the problem is that you spend more time with Kong.
Yeah, it's a Kong movie.
It's a
King
Kong movie. It's a King Kong movie. Whereas, like, it's like, okay, it's kind of like in Freddy versus Jason, where like you spend a majority of the movie worrying about Jason, and then Freddy shows up every 30 minutes.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, like eventually he starts showing up, and then he's like, woo!
Well,
That was
it was the same thing for what you could say the same thing for Alien versus Predator, where basically it's
No, the Alien versus Predator movies, I love. I love those movies. Those are good. No,
I like this first one. The second one was kind of meh.
they're only good just because they're so garbage.
That's true. Why team up movies don't work?
As
out?
an Alien fan, I'm going to tell you right now, I only watch it because it's entertaining, not because I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly why.
So really quick tangent.
Also, if you don't like people, then you just can't wait till they die.
I don't get when it comes to choosing who do you like between aliens or predators. I don't understand when people choose alien. I don't understand that. I prefer predator because they got the weapons. They got all the.
Excuse me, I'm offended.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm totally agreeing with.
I am 100% Team Alien.
Hold on. I love Team Alien, but I will say, if you were gonna team up with anybody, obviously you'd be a predator.
You're gonna be a predator.
Are you telling me that you would team up with an alien?
How would you team up with an alien?
How would you team up with an
The
alien?
only reason why you team up with an
I'm
alien
not teaming up with an alien. That's not the freaking point.
No, but still,
it's just a badass creature from space.
But how do you root for that?
I know. How do you root for it? It's.
I don't know. You just look at him and it's cool. Like, why are you rooting for a bear versus a gorilla? Like, have you heard of that argument on the internet?
Yeah, the gorilla would win.
Okay, so why does it matter to you?
We agree on that.
Why do you guys? Why is there a specific? Why are you rooting for these creatures? They have no benefit to you.
No, but I guess in a fighting standpoint, if you're thinking about, because I'm thinking about if I was in that fight, I would want to be a predator.
Okay, but I'm not talking about who I want to be. It's
the movie
the
characters.
concept. The concept that was created in AVP. The predators hunted the aliens because they were one of the most difficult things. Yeah, the most dangerous species that they could try to hunt. Mm-hmm. That's a badass thing. Yes, I'm getting emotionally distraught from this. How dare you?
Just calm down and put the knife down. We don't need the knife. Yeah. The knife is unnecessary. I think you just put that down.
I guess I don't know, because
would you spit your acid at me? Right? You spit that acid at me and just.
I will say this. As of movie wise, the Alien franchise is a far more superior franchise.
It is.
That's not a question.
No, but I'm just saying.
Oh wait, hold on.
You said this was a small tangent. This is a huge tangent.
I started a small tangent.
Everybody's allowed one. Everyone's allowed one.
You took this emotionally
because I love. You know how much I love Alien.
Hold on. Let's be honest. Alien has 2 good movies. So does Predator.
There's only 2 movies for Predator. Well, so what's your favorite Predator movie? I like
Predator
Predator 2.
Predator 1.
I like Predator 2 because
you like
Danny
the
Glover taking on
Glover?
Danny Glover taking on a Predator.
Predator 1.
I don't. Why?
Because it's so ridiculous. I love it.
Predator 1 is amazing just for Arnold Schwarzenegger and his biceps.
That is well too. But I guess
immediately it wins.
I just love Danny Glover, and just.
You know what it was?
Taking on a predator is just like that concept alone. I'm like, I'm in.
No, it's a really cool idea.
Gary Busey in it.
Yeah, wait, isn't Alien Warner Brothers as well? No, it isn't, huh?
At the time?
Wait, what?
No, it's Paramount.
No, it's Paramount. It's a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they
so they
partnered
slowly hinted that in Predator 2.
Okay, so then what are the 2 good Alien movies?
Alien 1 and Alien 2.
Alien 1 and Covenant.
How dare
You
you?
like Covenant?
How
Yes.
more?
dare you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
No one likes Covenant.
Because y'all are wrong. That's for
And this
another.
is-
that's another.
That's a
argument.
whole
Hold on.
That's
Okay,
another
no,
issue.
no.
I feel like that's a whole nother podcast.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. My question is. Hold on.
Yeah,
My
go
question
ahead.
is that how do you go alien and not include aliens?
James
I think
Cameron.
yeah,
James
you
Cameron.
know,
Ridley Scott.
that's true. He's a Ridley Scott fan before.
I have issues with
Really?
James Cameron.
Yeah.
But it's so.
I have
good.
issues with James Cameron. I love James Cameron.
So good.
You like James Cameron?
I love
yeah.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
I just have issues with James Cameron.
I love Christopher Nolan.
But-
I have
I
issues
just
with
have issues
Christopher Nolan.
You hate everybody that's good.
No, I don't. I genuinely don't.
He hates
I
everything
love
that's-
Jonathan Nolan.
Really quick.
I have issues with Christopher
Do
Nolan.
you like Avatar? The James Cameron's Avatar. Did you like it?
Okay, let's be honest. I mean, I think after everybody's had like 12 years to like really look it over, Avatar's
There's so many different concepts. Dancing
Yeah.
with Wolves, Pocahontas that it took from and try to play it off as like, oh, this is
I'm
not
really
original.
surprised he didn't
Yeah.
try to add Titanic into it. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm really surprised.
So is anyone even excited for Avatar 2 that he keeps trying to mention?
Dude, he has Avatar 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, but
and
he's
he's like,
oh no, I
they'll
can't
eventually
do it.
come out.
The technology doesn't exist for me to make it yet. When,
Yeah.
from Back to the Future or what? Like,
Absolutely.
Are we done?
No.
no, okay, so coming back from that, well, gosh,
Wow, we tangent really bad on this.
you took it to a
That
whole
was
other
you.
level, dude.
Because you insulted me.
I
and
didn't.
my
I
love for
insulted
aliens,
a franchise you like.
Insulted a franchise.
which you insulted.
and you took it personally.
You took it to.
I
you took
did take it personally.
Yes.
I
you
just-
can say and whatever you want about stuff I like. I won't react the way you do.
Because I'm emotional
You
about this
verbally,
stuff.
you verbally assaulted us. Just,
we have it here.
we were both calm. You yelled.
I just loved how me and Nick just like the same things, and Brian's like, "What the hell? Why am I by myself in this argument?
Why am I in the corner by myself? Oh, that's amazing.
This is a good episode so far."
That's so
I
funny.
love it. Okay, so
So
moving. Okay,
funny.
so you said basically we all agreed that the Godzilla versus Kong movie
Is-
could have been better.
It could have been
than it
better.
was.
but it's
I-
okay.
I feel
still
like
good,
I feel
yeah.
like all the monster movies could be better.
Yeah. Oh, well, I
that's
mean, they're
true.
just for fun. They're for fun.
For some reason, we can't adapt a full good monster movie, but I feel like these movies are a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
I think like 3/4 of that movie is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3/4 of that movie is a solid.
That's
movie.
all it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't masterpieces. They're just fun movies that
Anybody
you put on there.
that's ever seen like a Godzilla movie knows.
Yeah.
Like the original Godzilla movies, like those can get rough.
So
Oh, yeah,
Get
so
rough.
didn't the last or like in the other old Godzilla versus Kong movie, didn't like Kong get like a tree and just shoved it?
yeah, and that
Yeah.
was referenced
And
in
that was-
Godzilla
that
vs.
was that
Kong.
was yeah that was
When he got his
referenced
axe.
when he got the axe.
Yeah.
Also, King Kong had Mecha Kong first
Mm.
before Mecha Godzilla. So
Yeah, that's
little
little fun
history
Easter egg.
for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of the reasons is because I totally agree with you that these monster movies is like a good stepping stone. Because the way I see it is, I grew up with my dad showing me the Godzilla movies first,
Yeah.
and then he tried showing me Peter Jackson's King Kong, but I didn't love it so much. I was always like I said, that's my introduction to it. So
Oh,
like
for
when
King Kong.
yeah, and so when I look back at like the concept of like what I do with these monster movies, it's like if I had a kid, I would show him these monster movies, and I know that he or she would fall in love with like
Yeah.
the concept of these movies.
I feel like Peter Jackson movies are just hard to introduce kids to.
That's another topic.
It is another topic, but I just feel like like if you were to give them like any Peter Jackson movie,
Yeah.
I feel like it's really rough if you were to get like a 5-year-old and go watch this.
Well, because it's like a 3 hour.
you'll like it. It's like a 3-hour movie.
It's an hour to get on the island, hour on the island, an hour to get off the island, an hour off the island.
I remember the first time I watched it when I was a kid, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up and they were still on the island.
You mean to tell me that you can't sit a 5-year-old through the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
No,
No.
no.
I was
Have
just
you
picturing that through my
extended
head, just going.
editions?
have you ever tried?
No, I have not seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies the whole way. I'm
What?
not. Yeah, I'm not that kind of person.
Oh man.
I'm sci-fi. I'm
I
full
have-
sci-fi.
I have the Blu-rays of the extended edition.
Yeah,
so you might have to watch those.
Oh, really? Just like I've been telling you to watch the Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge.
That's different.
No, it's the same thing. I will watch.
It's on HBO Max now.
The what?
The Scorpion movie.
Okay, so
Yeah,
isn't Lord
So
of the
now
Rings
you
on there?
have no excuse. Why would you
Yeah.
back
Is Lord
yourself
of
in
the
a
Rings on
corner?
there?
Huh?
Is Lord of the Rings on there?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
Okay, so I'll watch Lord of the Rings if you watch the Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat comes out.
Isn't
I'm
Lord of the
trying
Rings?
to, yeah.
Isn't Lord of the Rings also?
Yeah, that's
Warner
why.
Brothers?
So we'll switch
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's also Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Well, speaking about movies that came from our childhood,
Yes.
Space Jam. Also
It's a
another
Space Jam.
Do your
Your
dance,
thing,
it's
your
the chance
dance, your Space Jam. All right.
You guys are just vibing. Thanks, I'm the odd one out today, aren't I?
You're in the corner. Sorry.
That's true. So, Space Jam, another Warner Brothers property. We just had a trailer drop about a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I'm so excited for
Give or
Ready Player.
take, yeah.
I mean, Space Jam. Yeah,
Yeah. And
Ready Player One, too.
Ready Player 1, 2.
so a lot of people
Yeah.
mention that because it is kind of showing off that vibe. But just a quick little thing before we jump into
Yeah.
some serious Warner Brothers topics, because this announcement was pretty heavy,
Yeah.
given the fact that it's been one of the big Warner Brother announcements for the last couple months.
Yeah.
The trailer shows a cartoon version of LeBron James, which is something that we didn't get with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
It's weird, though, because it looks like you get a cartoon version and then they turn real at the final, in the final, like, portion.
To me, the trailer felt like it gave us the whole movie.
It kind of did, but then
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how the trailer was for the original Space Jam.
Is it bad that the first thing I thought when I saw that trailer was I thought it was like the Rick and Morty episode of Get Swifty?
Yeah.
Like, that was the first thing I thought of, like, oh, yeah, like, it's planet versus
Yeah.
planet, and they have to battle it out and show me what you got.
Well,
And-
it's really weird because I guess for some reason LeBron James and his son get integrated in some sort of high-tech AI server. I
Yeah,
guess.
the kid, and it's what's his name?
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, he's like, no one knew he was there, and then he
Yeah.
pops up as like an AI. Like, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It's
What
going
it-
the complete opposite from the
What-
first movie.
So what I feel like is that what they did is they were like, why don't we just make a love letter to Warner Brothers?
yeah.
Yeah, and that was what Ready Player One was,
Yeah.
in a way.
But here's the problem, though. Ready Player One was done by Spielberg, and he knew how to like
Drop
like
yeah.
little tiny Easter eggs and kind of go like, all right, I'm gonna slip this one in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
who's
this
directing this
because
one?
I mean, in that trailer, there's literally the same scene with the DeLorean
And the Iron Giant.
and the Iron Giant. Like, there's literally the same scene.
And the Flintstones.
The Flintstones were the Flintstones in
No,
Ready
they
Player
weren't.
One?
They weren't. It was the Iron Giant was like the big thing that was used. Didn't he also put in a Gundam in Ready Player One?
He did,
Yes.
and also Mecha Godzilla.
So okay, so Malcolm D. Lee is directing this movie. He's best known for movies called Undercover Brother, obviously.
Oh, that's gonna be.
Bow Wow, the movie with Bow Wow called Roll Bounce. Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Oh no!
Soul Man, Scary Movie 5.
Wait, he directed Soul Man
Soul Man, yeah.
with what was it? Wait,
Bernie Mac and
Bernie Mac and
Samuel
Sam Jackson.
yeah.
That movie's alright. That movie's alright.
Best Man's Holiday, Girls Trip, and Night School.
All right, Girl Strip and Night School. aren't bad.
Yeah, but the producer is the guy that directed Black Panther. He's also a producer on this as well.
Who is it?
too. What's his
something-
name? Ryan
Ryan
Coogler.
Coogler?
Yeah.
See, here's the
Justin Lee is a producer as well.
You know,
too.
you know what? Here's the thing, though.
Justin Lin. Sorry.
It's so interesting because in order to become a producer in movies, because I know that was like a big thing when Man of Steel was coming out.
Yeah.
Because people were like, oh, it's okay. Christopher Nolan's going to be a producer on the movie. He's going to make sure that Zack Snyder's got this all thing. In order to get a producing credit means that you made a pass on the script.
Yeah.
Like, you looked over the script, you maybe changed a couple of things, and you gave it to him, or you gave him some story beats. And then they were just like, okay, cool, because he did these things, we have to make him a producer.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That doesn't mean that he's like the guardian that's like, this is okay. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
make everything fine.
No,
No,
he's-
it's still the director's vision and stuff like that. I mean, it sounds like the director's made some pretty interesting movies. I mean, Undercover Brother is funny. It's hilarious.
But the thing is that if you look at Undercover Brother in an outside perspective, that we didn't. We grew up with Undercover Brother. That's the thing.
If it was Ladies Man, I'd be like, oh, that's fun. Ladies Man is a great movie to do on that time. But Undercover Brother, yeah, it's very niche.
Yeah.
It's very niche. I haven't met anybody that's like been like, oh yeah, my favorite comedy, Undercover Brother.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine though. Like it's like, because that's the thing is like, keep in mind, this kind of reminds me of Star Trek Beyond.
Okay.
Where J.J. Abrams did the first two, and then you get, was it Justin Lin that directed?
Yeah, he
Beyond?
directed Beyond.
We had a director, because at the time it was like, oh, you're getting the director that did Tokyo Drift,
Yes,
making a sci-fi movie with heavy story plot points.
Wait,
it's not going to make any sense.
Was it Justin Lin? I thought it was the dude.
No.
No, it was the guy from
He did Tokyo Drift.
I thought it was Hot for the.
Can you look it up, Renee? You got the computer in front
Or
of you.
I thought
Trek
it was
Beyond?
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond. I thought, or did he write it? He might have written.
He directed it.
Yeah, no. Simon Pegg
wrote
the script.
Yeah.
and then it was Justin Lin who.
But like visually, it looks so good.
It does look really
and that's
cool.
the thing is that like we
Yeah,
could
Justin Lin directed it.
Yeah, so
Simon
that's
Pegg
see what I
wrote it.
mean. It's like you can look at a director and be like, oh man, they haven't worked on like certain things that make me really impressed. Tokyo Drift, I consider to be one of the best Fast and Furious movies.
That's your Bible, right?
That I love Tokyo Drift. Yeah.
No, honestly, I like Tokyo Drift as it's in one of my higher up movies because it changes. It changes
still
the platform.
racing.
Yeah, it's still
It's more racing.
but you get these new characters and stuff like that, and it kind of changes up a bit where it mixes everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
what I liked.
I like
Yeah.
how that's a movie made out of desperation of Paul Walker and Vin Diesel don't want to do this anymore. So we
Right?
got to do something. So we have to do something different.
But
and
then they
they
come
came
back
back.
in Fast
and then they
and
come,
Furious.
and then they
Fast
come
and
back in the
Furious.
next one because they're just like, hey, that movie made money. Like we should go back to it.
Oh yeah, but like this franchise could still have something here.
Well,
you know?
because Vin Diesel was doing Riddick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he
right.
was.
He was doing Riddick. That's why he wasn't able to do it because
So,
he got the rights to him.
Funny little tangent on
Okay.
the whole Fast and Furious thing.
We've been doing that all
I know
day.
we have, but I'm gonna make it real quick. I know we keep saying real quick, but it's gonna be real quick. So they played the Fast 9 trailer when we went to go see Godzilla vs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And my fiance was just laughing her ass off, and she's like, "These movies are they're like, I don't know what they are anymore." And I'm like, "Babe, these movies have been nothing since Fast 5. Like literally, if you like once you watch
They're
Fast
superhero
5,
movies.
they are." Like after Fast 5,
Oh, yeah, they're
forget,
all Avengers now.
Forget anything that you thought about Fast and Furious. They don't make any sense. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to be you sit down in a chair and you watch this with a bowl of popcorn and enjoy whatever garbage physics exists in these movies. Like it just doesn't. It's not supposed to make sense.
They shot a car from one building to another building.
Oh, this one's gonna have a car who's gonna jump off a cliff, and the rope is somehow going to attach underneath the car, and it's gonna swing him across the cliff onto like a ledge somewhere. And I'm just like, this is great. This is fantastic. I'm gonna love it.
I've been saying it for years, along with a lot of other people I know, is that the next one needs to be in space.
Oh,
If
it's
not-
gonna be.
if it's not
It
in-
will be. It'll
if-
get there.
If it's not in space, then I don't know what the hell they're doing.
It'll be there. But point being is that, you have directors that we don't think are going to be doing a well enough
true.
job. And I think that's what's going to happen with Space Jam is that we have a director that hasn't had like credentials that like are awe-inspiring. But when we sit down and watch the movie, knock on wood, we get something that's entertaining that's still going to have that nostalgia factor, that we grew up with, but it will introduce to the kids, this new generation, to the Looney Tunes. Because granted, have you recently seen Space Jam? I saw it like about a couple months ago.
I saw it just like last week.
I watch it every week.
It's on HBO Max now.
Do you really?
Huh?
Do you really watch it every week?
No, I don't watch it every week.
Like, okay.
I think I honestly, I used to watch it like on repeat when I was a kid.
Yeah, because it was a great movie as a kid.
I ruined that tape. I
But-
ruined that VHS.
But it's not like a fantastically awesome movie. It's just really fun. So
Yeah, it's a fun ride.
Yeah, when I go into this Space Jam movie, I'm not expecting a cinematic masterpiece, and I keep thinking that like people like I don't know. I have a feeling that people are expecting this movie to just be like, oh my god, it's a great Warner Brothers movie. It's like no, it's just supposed to be fun.
You know what the funny thing is that I think the main problem is that you just don't know what to expect. Just because in Ready Player One, you had a lot of these cameos and stuff like that, and they were doing things. And it kind of seems like whoever, like when they were like filming it, they were just like, we're going to do it like street ball. And we're going to make it that all the Warner Brothers characters are like on the sidelines watching, going like, oh my. And stuff.
I'm looking at the cast.
Zendaya's Lola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited for that.
I'm seeing Jim Carrey on here.
As who?
The Mask. They credited him as the Mask.
That would be interesting. But you know what the funny thing is that I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't like. It's not like he dressed up as the Mask.
Oh yeah.
If
They
they
just
used his audio from the Mask, and then they needed to credit him. They needed to credit him because technically he does have lines.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Because if they just use your audio, you still have to give credit to that person.
Yeah.
Because or else
Well, they have.
sue
So
you.
it's weird. They have Zendaya.
Yeah, I think
Zendaya?
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
As Lola Bunny, but they have the original voice actress here
She
credited her
maybe
as
makes
Lola.
an appearance
Yeah.
somewhere. It only makes
As
sense.
a-
You know what it
Lola
could be, and I think this is where it is. I think that when she turns normal, when she turns out of cartoon,
Oh, I see what you mean.
that's when she turns into Zendaya.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene where Bugs turns into like real, like he goes from cartoon to actually being like
To
real
a 3D
Bug.
rendering.
To a 3D
Yeah.
rendering, and I think that's probably when Lola changes
makes
voices,
sense. Yeah.
or there's two Lolas. I don't know.
That'd be interesting to see two Lolas.
I think it would be
The
hilarious.
internet was ablaze when they took away sexy Lola.
You know what I really want?
apparently.
I want Porky Pig to bring back, or Bugs Bunny to say, oh yeah, but we have to use Mike's special stuff.
Apparently they're doing.
Like I think that would just be a nice little like
Throwback.
throwback. You know, he has a water bottle and he just goes like, "It's okay, guys, I got Mike's special stuff." And then you see LeBron James. What's that?
Look, it's Warner Brothers. It's a very treasured franchise. I doubt that they're not going to take some opportunities to like do something about this.
Yeah.
So I like it's like you'll watch. It'll happen maybe.
Also, the original had Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Come on. I know.
And he was
Bill
just there
Murray.
for like a bit.
Dun, 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 dun,
He was.
dun, dun,
I
dun.
think it's so funny that Bill Murray is there, and he even goes like, "Oh, I know the producer. That's how I got in the movie."
Yeah.
I knew a guy.
Good.
I know a guy, and he drove me down here. It's so great.
So quickly before we move on to the last portion of this Warner Brothers thing, can we do a quick audio check to make sure we're still good in recording?
Yeah.
Because we had some technical
I know. No, we're
difficulties
still good.
before. We're still good.
Yeah.
It's picking up everything okay.
Haven't
Great.
recorded a damn thing.
I imagine it's like we're 50 minutes in
Yeah,
now.
we're 50 minutes
And
in.
like it's just we didn't record anything. Renee, okay, so in the video that we finished today, we didn't capture the audio using the mics, and Renee finally I had this months ago when we first did the WandaVision video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I lost all the edits. It was like when I first started editing, it was 4 hours of work completely gone because Adobe
So
Premiere
bad.
just crashed. Renee just experienced it, and that face reminded me of when I had that because he's just like, oh my god.
I hate everyone.
You can tell there was like desperation.
I didn't know what to hit first.
Yeah. So
Was it the soundboard or the mic or the screen?
Who do I punch?
So let's move on to the last topic regarding Warner Brothers. I think we're all pretty much excited about the content that's coming out right now.
Yes.
And there's a very hard appreciation for what Warner Brothers has put out there. Granted, they're not producing all of it. They sometimes act as like a
Distribution center.
Thank you. When we look at how much, and we've talked about this before, when studios meddle in directors' visions, we get problems, right?
Yes.
Okay. Another movie that's going to be coming out in 2 weeks, in about a week, as of this podcast coming out, this issue, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's right.
There has been excessive amount of advertisement in the sense that the director is the one that's putting his vision out there. We are not using as much green screen as most other movies. We're making the fights as authentic as possible. We are trying to honor and respect the story behind Mortal Kombat and bringing forth. I know you laugh.
I'm sorry, but if you know anything about the story of Mortal Kombat,
It's non-existent.
it's non-existent.
Yeah, true.
I told Rene this because I really want him to watch Scorpion's Revenge because it is as close as you can get without playing the games.
It's so bad because it's literally just the game designers.
Yeah.
Like the people who created Mortal Kombat, and then they're just going like, so why is this character here? What about if he's Sub-Zero's older brother that died, and then he came back to life, and and we're just gonna call him Noob Saibot. Why Noob Saibot? Well, my name is this, and it's N-O, and then yours is O-B, so Noob. Yo, call him Noob Saibot. And then they put it in a game, and then everybody went, that's a genius idea.
Literally, all of this started out. No, Nick's right. Literally, the only reason why we get different ninjas like Sub-Zero, Reptile, Scorpion,
It was easier
Rain,
to render.
it is the same costume in different colors.
It's easier to render.
For Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, and 3?
Hold on.
1, 2, 3, yes, because you get blue. It's blue, yellow, green. Because
and then Rain was introduced in
3. Because Reptile came in in 2, but Noob Saibot came in on. It was an It was a secret character that you could play as in 2.
Yeah.
You had to like type in a special code in the actual machine.
The little thumb, the directional.
And then you got Noob Saibot, and it was supposed to be like a secret character. And then later on, they ended up giving him his actual like thing, like his actual like what was the backstory?
Yeah. So this is the thing. Even though we do laugh that the story is just kind of like all over the place in terms of Mortal Kombat.
It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess.
So there's a certain that just made me think of a certain. Oh, this is it. Freaking. A Mortal Kombat game that featured a Sub-Zero outfit that I did not like.
What?
And I think I hated this one because I just didn't like it at
DC
all.
versus Marvel. I mean, versus Mortal Kombat.
No, maybe it is.
Because the costumes in that one is pretty. They're pretty janky in that one.
Scorpion especially.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Oh
bad.
yeah, Scorpion. It was weird. It was like in the early Oh, here it is. Yeah,
But
it was this one, this Sub-Zero version that I did not like.
What's it from?
Oh, is that Mortal Kombat 11 or 10?
Yeah, that's Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, but those are just optional costumes.
Yeah, those are just optional costumes.
but that costume in general, it was featured in another game, wasn't it?
I
it
think
might
it's
have just been like a side thing.
Yeah.
No, I think it was. It's a re-rendered version of Mortal Kombat 3, 4, something like that.
So just for reference, it's the one where he's having that big ice helmet that makes him look like Shredder from TNT.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like. I didn't like how he looked like Shredder. That was basically it. I was like, why do I have an ice shredder? Like,
in all fairness, they probably came out around the same time.
Probably
More
because
or
it was
less.
the 80s, right?
Going 80s,
Or it was like
early
inspired
90s.
by it.
It was like early, because all of the characters in that are inspired by somebody.
Yeah.
Like Liu Kang is Bruce Lee. He's mixed in with Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan.
Johnny Cage is just an American Hollywood star.
No, Johnny Cage is supposed to be Tom Cruise.
Oh, I can see that.
He's supposed to be Tom Cruise, he's like a movie star, everything like that. Who else was it? So they only put Sonya Blade in because they were like, oh, we need a woman.
She was a badass one.
Yeah,
except when she was voiced by what's her face's name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wrestler turned WWE.
Oh, you mean Ronda Rousey?
There you go. I hated the fact that she is voicing her.
Yeah, that's true.
She's voicing her in what?
In Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, I
Yeah,
think.
I think it was 11.
She is?
Yeah, she's the voice of Sonya Blade, and it's so gross.
It
sounds buttery.
How do you really feel? Like,
oh no, it's just I just did not like her at all because she sounds so like buttery and fake. Because Sonya Blade is very like even in this one from the trailers, I see that Sonya Blade is like more authentic in terms of like she's very serious, she's very determined and goal driven. She's got like a mission. And then when Ronda Rousey voices Sonya Blade, it sounds so nonchalant and bland. It's just like, why do you even talk, dude? You can't even like act in this one.
I just forgot about the costumes in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. They were so one-dimensional.
Yeah. They're very bland. Yeah. They're very bland costumes. But the thing is that for all of that, I do have to admit, for like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, the director has been working on this movie for like at least 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that
something that's always been.
They've advertised the fact that this is his project and that everyone that's working on it is really putting in their perspective on this. So it kind of makes it feel like Warner Brothers isn't meddling as much as they should, because this is a Warner Brothers property. This is like in their.
Is Johnny Cage in this one?
No, he's not.
Never mentioned him. No,
he's not in this one. But if there's a sequel, he will be brought in. This is an actual Warner Brothers property that belongs to them, right?
This movie.
This
Warner
movie
Brothers was used by Warner Brothers money.
Yeah, exactly.
Warner Brothers did they bought NetherRealm Studios
years ago.
The early 2000s, maybe
yeah,
like
that's
the
how
late
they have
90s.
it.
That explains why they have so many Injustice stuff.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, they're like why they blew up the whole Injustice thing now.
Yeah, because NetherRealm Studios is owned by WB. Yeah.
So we have this kind of idea that Warner Brothers doesn't and won't meddle here. But their history hasn't shown so much that they don't history has shown that Warner Brothers likes to meddle in these movies, specifically with a lot of their DC properties.
Yes.
Earlier this week, we had news coming out from different actors that were on set on Justice League.
Yes.
You know, giving their own experiences about how these movies were being produced and directed. One of the biggest names was Gal Gadot, who basically came out and said that she was harassed multiple times by Joss Whedon.
And her career was threatened by
Yeah, they said that I think Joss had said that he was going to cancel Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
Because of how she was trying to
She kept questioning the rewrites.
Yeah, and
because he was changing a lot of stuff from the first Wonder Woman, because they had already finished shooting Wonder Woman, and he was changing a couple of things. He was changing things up, and it was like, wait a minute, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not how we did it in Wonder Woman. That's like, that's not what we're talking about. When we did it with Zach said this, and then that's what Patty Jenkins and me, that's what we did in Wonder Woman, because we're starting to already film that. Because we already finished filming it, and they were just like, oh, yeah, like, you already have 84, but, I can easily take it away from you. I can ruin your entire career. Which is insane.
Let me say this, because a couple issues ago, I did mention that it didn't feel like Joss Whedon was the one at fault here. And I want to retract that statement now. No, like in all seriousness, I do want to retract that statement, because I didn't, like, in a way, at the time I made it seem like I was defending Joss Whedon's work and going like, oh, well, it's a studio cut. It's a studio cut.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to come out and making it seem like this wasn't just a studio cut. This was like a director's cut and his vision, and Whedon just being Whedon, which is just a straight up a-hole.
But I feel, what I feel like it was both. So I feel that what the studio did is they went, Joss, do what you need to do to make it profitable. And then Joss came back with his notes, and he came back with, this is what I would change, and I would add humor in these places, and I would do all these other things. Yeah. And then the studio literally went, he did Avengers, he
did 2 major Marvel movies.
And they made millions, and they made hundreds of millions of dollars. Just let him do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
But Jeff Johns was also kind of a jerk too, because people were going to Jeff Johns, and he was backing Joss.
But the stuff that's coming out about Jeff Johns just kind of makes it seem like Jeff Johns turned the other cheek and didn't necessarily do much.
The problem is that if you don't say anything and you don't do anything about it, then you are
part of the problem.
Part of the problem.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with that.
And just because I wasn't the one that threatened her, but I heard what he said to her, or they told me about what he said to her, what he's been saying to Ray Fisher, and everything like that. And I am a person of power, and I didn't say anything, and I'm not stopping it. Then I either don't care, or I think that what he's doing is right. And that's where you're kind of going like, ooh, Jeff Johns, why?
Yeah. I completely agree with that, and it's like, again, I'm retracting that statement that was made about 2 issues ago.
I think also it makes it hard, because before this whole thing was even brought into light about Joss Whedon, we are fans of Joss Whedon. We liked his stuff. Buffy was good.
I love Buffy,
and Firefly is one of my favorite shows that I've ever loved.
I'm going to step away from that, because I'm going to say, yes, I like some of the work that he's done. Avengers is classic. MCU that started it all. Age of Ultron wasn't bad. It was okay. And you said, Firefly is a great show.
Remember when we used to say, in Joss we trust?
Yeah.
Remember when that was a thing?
But you know what? The more I looked at Joss Whedon throughout the years, the more I've realized that he is a big baby. In the sense of like, well, they canceled Firefly, then I'm just not going to bring it back. And so in a way, it's just kind of like, you can see how studio manipulation works on this and how bad it can be. Because when you have these things and statements coming out from actors and actresses saying like, harassment's in the workplace, I'm being threatened, I'm being told all these different things, it makes you look at this like studio in a different way.
Yeah.
Is it?
You know?
But I think I don't think this is the first time that Joss has had some form of improprieties on a set.
No, he's had it different times.
Because I thought he also didn't he. I don't think he sexually assaulted somebody, but I think he.
No, he's been very inappropriate.
He's been very
basically.
inappropriate with the female cast,
Yes.
right? I know that there was a report of it on Buffy. There was a report of it on.
It was the actress. What's her name? She was on Buffy and Angel, and she came out.
Charisma.
Yes.
Charisma, yeah.
She came out saying that how Josh would talk to her on set and stuff.
That's
like
the
that.
reason why she left.
Yes.
That was like one of the major, like she wanted to go on movies, but also she didn't like the way that Joss talked to her on set, which is really messed up. That
he would basically almost, from what I've seen,
he would really creep her out.
Yeah. And really talk down to her at the same time.
Yeah, he would creep her out, and then I think like he would just like not morally, but like emotionally like destroy her.
Yeah.
Where he would basically
Make
say
her
like
second guess herself. And stuff like that.
which is not cool.
You're not supposed to do that, especially to your actresses, that are portraying your characters that you're having them do and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially somebody who's been with you for so long.
Yeah.
But that's insane.
It just brings it into perspective on like how there should be more of appreciation for people that do the good work.
Yeah.
Like consider this. In the last couple of weeks, ever since the Snyder Cut came out, the audience has had nothing but positive reviews for this. Like we've had the Snyder Cut, which we've all watched and we all have said is like, even though it's not a perfect movie,
it's still a far superior movie
than what the studio and Joss Whedon's cut were,
Yes.
right? We had the black and white version come out as well, which is honestly such a it's a very beautiful film to watch.
Cool. It's a cool movie.
It's beautiful. Like Logan. You won't watch Logan again, but when you rewatch it in black and white, you can understand the cinematic angles of it and why certain things were filmed the way they were. It's the same way with this one.
Yeah.
Why is it darker? Why are certain angles different and all this other stuff? So fans, and I'm very happy to see this, fans are finally understanding, or at least not that they're finally understanding, but they're becoming more vocal about what truly is being appreciated here. I feel like before it was more appreciation of like the big studios, Disney, Marvel, Warner Brothers, DC. There was appreciation for that. Oh, great. A new Marvel movie's come out. Yeah, and like there was just a hype on the studio.
They just jumped on it. Yeah.
Exactly. On the studio specifically. But now I feel like there is now more appreciation on the people that work on these films. Not just the actors and actresses, but the producers, the people that work behind the camera, the directors, the people that are actually in charge of this and not just funding the films. Bring back the Snyderverse.
But
that's a big movement. Yeah,
but I feel what Warner Brothers does, because there's a lot of movies that Warner Brothers comes out with that's really awesome, and it doesn't look like the studio really stepped in. It looks like this is what the director had.
But it always feels like these films that do really well are the ones that they almost have no faith in.
Yeah.
Like they say like, it's not really going to work out. Like the Monsterverse movies. Like even though, there was a little bit of hope in it and like, they kind of to me it felt like there weren't.
Godzilla always sells. What are you talking about?
Godzilla sells, but it's not their property.
Yeah.
It's Toho's property.
It's a Toho property.
Exactly. Just like King Kong is Legendary's property. Mm-hmm. And Legendary's just a partner of Warner Brothers in a way, right?
Yeah.
So there wasn't this kind of like
I think
mentality.
they're a subsidiary, aren't they?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But like they don't have this mentality that like the Monsterverse movies are going to be the next big thing like the Avengers and stuff like that.
Right.
Right? And look at how successful they are. They're one of the biggest franchises out there.
Well, Warner Brothers also tried to do the other Monsterverse. Didn't they try to do like Dracula?
Oh, that was
Universal.
That was Universal.
And that died out because of
Dark
the Mummy.
Universe.
Yeah, because that Mummy. Have you seen that Mummy movie?
Oh god, I saw that
That's
in
rough.
theaters.
That's a rough movie. But besides that, I mean, but my main point is that if you look at something that looks like Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad with James Gunn, that looks like a movie that James Gunn made. Like just straight from the trailer, because it looked like it didn't need any like cheap tricks to make the trailer look interesting. It didn't need anything like any like cool music. Bohemian Rhapsody was in the first one, and this one it had some cool music, but you can tell that the story and the structure of it seems a lot more solid.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wacky. You already know it's
Definitely.
gonna be wacky, but you can tell that the humor is there. Like because these are very much loser characters. Like these. This isn't even like the D squad.
It looks like basically.
It's not the D. It's the S squad.
Yeah.
Like this is like the Z squad of like superhero villains.
It looks like James Gunn got like a catalog of all villains and just went to the back of the page and just like, I'm gonna choose Polka Dot Man and
I honestly,
Javelin.
What it looks like, he's put all of the unknown villains and then he put them in a hat and then just kind of went like Javelin.
Thinker. All right.
Thinker.
Oh, what's this? Weasel? There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
Sean can play with a weasel.
Oh, we need a position for Sean to play. There's a character named Weasel. Got him. and I think that's gonna. But I feel like that kind of movie, it's because they trust him. To make it, because also that was a get. Like that was very much a get of James Gunn getting fired at Disney, and then them going, come on over, man. We don't mind like a tweet from 10 years ago.
Biggest mistake Marvel did. That thing, I remember that. We're going to wrap this up real soon because I know we're hitting like an hour 20, right?
No, an hour and 10.
Hour 10. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up soon. But I remember when that massive cancel James Gunn thing came out.
Yes.
And I was just like, wasn't this like 10 years ago that he tweeted this?
I was just like, wait, this was a while ago.
Yeah, this is 10 years ago.
But this is, keep in mind, we've talked about this. James Gunn supposedly directed a porno. So this is coming from a man that had no control and like had no self-control of what he was saying. It's not forgivable by any means, but still,
James Gunn's kind of a kooky dude.
Oh yeah,
But the thing is that people.
But
can
he
change.
made Guardians, and Guardians was fantastic.
Yeah. In the span of 10 years, your personality can ultimately change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also, I mean, 10 years ago, I think what was James Gunn making 10 years ago?
Slither.
Slither's a dope movie. I don't know.
Slither
is a really dope movie.
That's my favorite James Gunn.
You know,
movie,
he
honestly.
tweeted that out.
It's one of my favorite Nathan Fillion movies.
Oh yeah, same here.
Oh, that was right. He was in there too.
Yeah, it's like the first time like Nathan Fillion's like a main character.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion like is a dope. I love Nathan Fillion in a lot of stuff. I don't know if you've seen The Rookie.
I've watched The Rookie religiously.
It's so good. Just have you not seen The Rookie?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I was more of a Castle person, so
that's fine.
like,
That's fair.
How dare you?
What do you mean? How dare you? Rookie came out afterwards. I was just like, I stopped. Rookie came out when like TV wasn't a thing anymore, right?
What?
Wait,
Rookie's on its third season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't watch TV anymore.
Oh.
I was on Netflix or like streaming services.
Well, that's true. And he's basically saying that like no one really watches broadcasting television.
So unless
like,
it's on like a
religiously.
platform,
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's on Hulu.
I watch it on, but that's the thing.
Oh, it's on
watch,
Hulu. Okay, then if it's on Hulu, I'll watch it on Hulu.
Well,
Yeah, all three seasons are on Hulu, bro.
Okay, so
but
then I can watch
But
that.
that's the thing. You don't tune into it on ABC. You watch it on Hulu.
No, I watched it on the ABC app.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I watch it on Hulu.
I watch it on Peacock.
You watch it on.
Wait, is it on Peacock? No, it's not on Peacock. It's on the ABC. It's like
ABC One.
ABC One, something like that. Yeah. It's whatever.
Anyway, that was a good tangent, guys, about Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion's sexy, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, little side story. Elia, one of our friends that she listens to.
She got hit on by Nathan Fillion?
No, she actually met Nathan Fillion and didn't realize it was Nathan Fillion. One of her friends told her it was Nathan Fillion. I remember she told me that story. And I was pretty frustrated with her as well because I'm just like, dude, every nerd wants to meet Nathan Fillion. Like every guy nerd wants to meet Nathan Fillion because the guy's just
cool.
He's just a good-looking, very nerdy dude. He's like he's the quintessential voice of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like even if you don't know him, if you don't know him from anything else, like if you don't care about Castle or Slither or any of his live-action stuff, but you're a fan of like DC stuff, he's quintessential Hal Jordan.
Have you seen his Nathan Drake?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uncharted, yeah.
His Uncharted?
Yes.
Fan film that he made.
the fan film that he made that was Nathan Drake, and I was like, that is amazing. Like, if this didn't get him the role, I don't know what will.
So she said that she met him at LA or in LA and didn't know it was
he lives
him.
in LA.
Yeah. And I was just like, dude, how do you like? I get it, and I understand why our friend Toto was mad that you met him and didn't know, because if you meet him, then you say something. You don't just say, oh yeah, I met Nathan Fillion. No, you gave me a goddamn call. You say it. Don't wait. God dang it, man.
There are two people that, as a young kid, that I wanted to be.
Alan Tudyk?
No.
Yes.
I wanted to be I wanted to be Brendan Fraser's character in The Mummy.
Okay.
I wanted to be him. Like when
He's
I
a
grew up.
badass, yeah.
I loved him. And then also I wanted to be Mel from Firefly.
Okay.
Just like,
Mel.
there's the two characters I've always like. Oh
The
man, I
Adventurers.
want to be like them. Yeah.
The Adventures.
Yeah, I've always loved the final episode of Firefly with was it the Bounty Hunter?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's always a great. That's a
a-
great episode.
yeah.
It's so good.
But it's going back to the whole James Gunn thing.
Yeah.
It's just like really funny to see him essentially like being let go of Disney and then Warner Brothers taking advantage
Swooping
of that.
in,
And
yeah.
be like, just come over.
They
And-
swooped in like a hawk,
Yeah.
like a hawk that was in heat.
Oh yeah, no. Like they were on that immediately.
And they immediately were like, "Oh, come on, we'll pay you whatever you want." And then immediately he was like, "All right, I'm down."
I remember having this conversation with my fiance when that happened, when he got fired from Guardians 3.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm just like, because I remember it was at Costco where we had this conversation. And I told her, this is like a power play because James Gunn doesn't have to do Guardians 3. He did Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, and they were fantastic films. Like, they were great. Why do you want to come back to a studio that doesn't appreciate you afterwards? If you're just doing it because they love your vision, but then get mad at you because the public doesn't like a tweet from 10 years ago, by all means, go to Warner Brothers and make a movie that's going to be great. As a nerd, hell yeah, I'm going to go watch the new Suicide Squad by James Gunn.
Yes.
But it's a power play. You're going to watch. Just give it a couple weeks. Sure enough, what happened?
Yeah.
James Gunn, please, can
I
you come back?
James Gunn
I
comes
loved
back for
his. I
Guardians
loved
3.
his. I loved his power play of, I'll come back to do Guardians 3, but once I'm done with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So Guardians 3 is because of the studio going to be delayed, and it's like, oh, so all the fans are now going to get mad at Marvel, going like, what did you do? And but honestly, I do feel that what he was fired for was really dumb. It was super stupid.
Inappropriate, and we all learn from those things. As long as you change and understand what you did, fine. And
I feel that if it's more than 10 years ago, you are not the same person.
Yes,
That
give yourself a chance to change.
I feel that if you did a tweet or you said something 10 years ago, you shouldn't be judged for it because that is not
use it as like a reference to say like, how has this person developed into a better
like
person?
if you're still saying like racist slurs after 10 years, I mean, there's nothing I can do for you. But I mean, like if you as a person have developed, that's my big problem with cancel culture, man.
Yeah.
Just because like they're going like 30 years ago, this guy said that he hates these people, and then it's like, oh, that guy's dead. We should cancel him anyway. We should stop watching his stuff. And it's like, come on, man. Like sometimes this stuff just gets insane.
No, yeah, it makes I totally agree with you on that. But it's like that kind of like when we talk about this, you see the good side of what a studio can do in terms of like bringing and making smart decisions, bringing people on, making smart decisions. But then we forget that these studios are just in it to make money.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw when Gal Gadot and Ray Fisher even with their statements about what was happening on set with Justice League.
Yeah.
The inappropriateness, the harassment, all these different things. We just need to be reminded of that. And I hope that we are going to get something out of this in the sense that, there is going to be justice for Gal Gadot and something does come out and Ray Fisher does get the credit that he deserves. And not just the credit, but like the justice that he deserves for being essentially pushed out of the way by Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
For that cut.
I feel like that's gonna be interesting because now it's kind of like now the ball's in the studio's court. What do we do?
Oh, they're going to have to act on this.
I don't know.
Look, if Gal Gadot makes enough noise, like granted, not to disrespect Ray Fisher, because he isn't a big name as Gal Gadot.
How dare you?
Come on, this was supposed to be his big break.
It was.
This was his big break, and he wasn't respected at first. I really hope that Gal Gadot uses her voice to help out and bring forth these kind of like allegations and stuff. And
in
say, like,
all fairness, if you look at Justice League, that was kind of Gal Gadot also starting out. I mean, what movie was she really in before that? Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
And then she was in BVS. Because then she got hired in BVS, like I think like a year or two later,
as Wonder Woman,
and then as Wonder Woman,
this is her
then
breakout role essentially.
Yeah, I mean Wonder Woman is kind of like her biggest role, really.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in like a couple of like romantic comedies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
But she wasn't like the main character.
Yeah, I mean, but besides that, I mean, she didn't really have a whole lot of power too. Because look at it, Ben Affleck didn't really get a whole lot of heat. Because Ben Affleck wasn't going to have any of that. Because Ben Affleck is Warner Brothers' golden boy.
Ben Affleck is Ben Affleck.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing though, is that he is Warner Brothers' golden boy. Like they can, I mean, more or less, besides like that one mob movie that he made, you can give Ben Affleck a movie and direct it, and most likely it's going to make money. And you know he has an Academy Awards. He made Argo. He did all these other things. He's made bigger things than Joss has. Where if Joss were to have done that to him, he probably would have gotten smacked. Like, he probably would have gotten told something just because, you know, it's like, don't do that to me and everything else. Like, I'm bigger than you. And I feel like that's why you're not getting those calls from like Ben Affleck or something like that. Like, that never happened to me. You know, I only had a couple of scenes with Joss Whedon. I wasn't really with anybody else because a lot of his stuff is just with Alfred.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, I didn't really see it and stuff like that. I can't report it if I don't see it. Yeah. You know, but I think Joss is just picking on the little people.
That makes sense.
That agreed. Or do we have any final thoughts on this issue before we close out this issue?
Basically,
Everybody has to look at Bryan's thing from 10 years ago and try and cancel him. I give you a challenge.
I'm waiting for the day it happens. I'm honestly waiting for the day.
I'm like kind of like looking at my Facebook post because you know how you can see like your memories and stuff like that.
You know what? You know what's really bad? You know it's bad when I do social media for a living and then I don't post on social media for.
I don't. You know what? After doing all this and producing for this brand, I barely post anything on Instagram. I think mostly just share things on like Facebook because that's like the easiest platform to get on. But like looking back, because now you mention it, I do get like, oh, memories from 5 years ago. I don't like. I don't think any of my stuff is offensive.
No, I was just kind of like, I was.
I just cringe.
Kid. Yeah,
I cringe.
I was posting like what I thought was like cool. I was like, back in high school.
You know, the funny thing is that I did that and I actually didn't realize it, but it showed me a memory of 10 years ago, and it showed me a picture that I had taken of my brother, and I had duct taped him to a chair. And put a newspaper on his lap and then texted it to my mom. And I thought that was like the funniest thing in the world that I'd ever done.
Okay. And with that, we end this issue?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
thanks, Nick.
Hey man, if you guys need to know how to, you know, make knots with duct tape, it's not hard. It's really not hard.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this issue up. Just a reminder, guys, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter, and now on Facebook. If you guys want updates on when we release things, Rene is still in charge of the social media and doing a phenomenal job. Absolutely. Nick will also be helping out with that. So just like we made in the announcement before, Rene, Boba Fett's falling on you. So catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all your updates on when these things are going to be coming out. We're going to have weekly videos as well as podcasts every Wednesdays at 11:30, wherever you get your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, and Spotify. If you are not following us on our YouTube channel, we are 45 subscribers strong. Go on over to our YouTube channel, Keeping Up with the Nerds, subscribe, ring that bell, get notifications when things come out. You know, we do have our podcast coming out there as well on Wednesdays at 11:30. So if you prefer that, by all means, go for it. But let us know what you guys think, guys. We want to interact with you guys, and keep your eyes posted for the website. When it comes up, we will be making an announcement. Once again, Nick, thank you so much for being a part of this team now. Let's get this going. Let's go strong into 2021.
Absolutely.
Once our 1 year hits on June, we'll probably have something special. We want to hit, a big milestone.
Yes.
So if we can get to a milestone by our 1 year, we'll celebrate it.
What's a milestone?
Like 100 subscribers or something like
100
that.
subscribers?
100 subscribers.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's aim for that.
60 subscribers? I think we can do that.
60 subscribers? Yeah, I mean, our growth has been good, so
I think we do
we'll aim for it. Anything else? All right, so with that said, Rene, do you want to close this out?
I'll do it.
Let's go for it.
Thank you, citizens, for listening to this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. I am your host, Rene.
And Bryan.
And Nick.
Coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, recording at Undercity Comics. We thank you, citizens, once again, and hope to see you all next time.